Jungmin, hello,
Hello.
and congratulations for your prize. You played wonderful, and I'm very happy you're here with me in Seoul, and that we can see each other live, face to face, not by video.
Yeah.
And we can work on your music, right? What do you want to play today?
I'm going to play Beethoven Sonata number 13, movements 1, 2, and 3.
I see. So this is quite a big sonata. I have a suggestion. How about if I listen to the first movement, and then we'll talk about it, and then second movement, and we'll talk about it, and third, and etc. Is that okay with you?
Yes.
Okay, so let's start with the first movement. I'll go away and just listen like I'm in the concert hall. All right? Okay, good luck, my dear. Thank you very much, Jimmy. I enjoyed it. I think you're playing very well and maybe a little bit too careful. You know, what do I mean by that? Some of this movement is very clever in the dialogue between the left and the right hand. Even if you look at the end of this movement, and when you do this, and then this comes. Right? And I feel there is some kind of interaction between the left and the right hand. In Korean, this word is very interesting. I like to say miltang. Can you tell the audience what is miltang? Maybe there are some no-Korean people there.
Like.
Really, literally, it means pull-push.
Yeah.
Right? Push-pull.
Yeah.
Which means that there are forces between two per people or two hands. One force is pushing, one force is pulling, or some kind of interaction. It doesn't go in the same direction, right? There is some VS about that. And I feel like there is something here about this left hand and right hand. And finally, there is some kind of agreement. We agree. And we rest now. And because of your tempo and this carefulness that you have in your playing, it sounds very separated and episodal. You know that there is episode here and another episode here. So there is no real chemi. Again, that's another Korean word that comes from English, right?
Yeah.
What's the full word? Chemistry.
Oh.
Right? So there is no chemistry between the hands because you're separating them. If you play a little bit faster maybe and don't wait here, then you'll have that interaction. Maybe you want to try that first. That's another Korean word, watakatta. Can you tell the audience what is that?
Going here and there.
It's actually coming and going.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Could be my Korean is better than yours. Coming and going. So you can hear that harmony comes to you and then it goes away. When you come, there is a little bit of excitement in this. Yeah? Don't be too careful. Let's go back to the beginning and kind of apply what we said to that. Yeah, would you open your score maybe? So, try to listen to the right hand while the left hand is doing that, right? And don't move your attention from right channel to the left channel. Right channel. Don't do this again. Another Korean word, can I say? Takku, takku. You know what that is?
I've heard of it, but I don't really. Oh.
How do you say that game?
Ping pong.
Ping pong.
Yeah.
Don't do ping pong. Try to hear both at the same time. Stereophonic and simultaneously, left and right. Common to do this, but now we have this takku, this ping pong, and that's not what I think should be. Yeah? Tell me if it feels different this way?
A little.
In what way?
It feels like I can hear the right hand long note better.
That's right, that's right. And because of that, everything sounds one and not fractured. So they're pieces of the puzzle, and now you made the picture. And I think this is a typical Beethoven problem. There's so many details and so many beautiful things to do. It's hard to combine it into the big picture. It's not just in his sonata, but there's a lot of other instances or examples like that. Don't forget, at the end, this is alla breve, cut time you call it, or 2-2. And that means that you should not count 1, 2, 3, 4. But how do you count like this?
1, 2.
Yeah, so 1, 2, 1, 2, like that. That naturally brings more flow and lightness and connectivity to everything, right? So as you can see, you can hear the right hand better and you don't lose the left hand. Hear the whole exposition. Yeah, one of the things that I like so much doing is this. This left hand that runs away and stays, the right hand stays with this chord. Not to be so comfortable to do this. It's too comfortable for me. You hear that? It's like you have bass and then suddenly you don't have bass. Yeah? I think that's a genius moment of Beethoven, you know, and don't give it up. So you need to change pedal there. Double pedal. Yes! Bravo. Situation you will do the repeats and everything because we're musicians, and when we do the repeat we never really repeat, we always find other things to do. So maybe the second time you can have more left hand, this bassoon is more interesting maybe in the second time, but we don't have enough time, so we'll just move to the second part. And the second part is kind of, what kind of composer would write that except Beethoven? What do you feel? Who can write something like this? If this was not Beethoven, but another composer, who could it be? I would go even Brahms.
Oh.
If you think it's a Brahms kind of sound. Let's kind of feel. Did you see a picture of Brahms? No. There is no picture, but a painting or something of how Brahms looked. He really looked like Santa Claus. Huge bear with beard like that, and such a good face, like face you want him to be your harabuti. Tell the audience, what is harabuti?
Grandfather.
Yes, this would be perfect grandfather, and we will always hug you and always give you food and gifts and some pocket money. That kind of big heart, and you can hear it in this sound. And I think Beethoven somehow could be like that. So play heavier, don't play so soft. And feel like all the notes are important, not just this, but everything. C major, right? There is no space inside anymore. Thick and beautiful. One more time. C, Sol. There's something like that you want to use more your arms because you can relax on every chord. If you don't, then the first chord sounds good, but then you get a little tense just by pushing down. So, and then the chords become empty and empty and empty. So please, everyone, small one and big one on the melody. Mi, fa, sol, la. Tell us, what is the audience, what is the articulation here?
Portato.
Yes, portamente, portato, very good. And then when is the legato after that comes?
Over here.
Immediately in the left hand. Mi, fa, sol. So play me the legato in the left hand. You have very good legato, by the way. I like it the way you play legato. And then play portato. You should play dry. You can have pedal on every one of them for this resonance, for this color of sound. But of course you don't want the pedal to connect them into legato. Yeah? And as I said, you're very careful and you're subdivided. Ti-da-da-di-da-da-lam. Ta-da-di-da-da-da-lam, pa-di-da-dam. I prefer pom 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 climax and let's go. Ti-da-da-di-da-da-di-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-la-la-di-da. Cadence finished. That's one idea. Going up and then going down. Let's do the whole thing. Sol, mi, mi. And then go up. And out. Harmony trill for me. Can you tell the audience what is harmony?
Oh, grandmother.
Yes, it was an old trill. Very serious and mugupta heavy. It could be younger. Maybe double it, maybe instead of... There is time. And even if you don't want to double it, then just play it a little bit with direction and not that way, okay? Very good, and then that's it. Tell me the reason.
I want to start like a little kind of carefully.
Say it a little louder so everybody can hear.
Oh, I want to start it a little more carefully. So.
Yeah. as I said before, you play very careful, right? So thank you for saying for agreeing with me. Yes, that's excellent. I feel that there is a variation here. La la rim, bum 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 bim, ta da ta da ta da ta da ta. Every variation adds some rhythmical beauty, and if you subdivide it like that or cut each and every one of those mini variations, then we really don't feel the progression. You know, from the first introduction of tira quarter, 8 note, pom 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 pom, 16, tada 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 tada, until of course that's a B section, completely different, but rhythmically speaking, that's the climax of our movement, right? Quarters, 8 notes, 16, and then some crazy fast notes, right? After that. So I would not wait there. And let's try maybe from before, from that sforzando, and let's see how you connect it. These slurs, appoggiaturas, tada, 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 you know, it is always advisable to use more wrist, because if not, you can start the first one good, but then it becomes toccateo, the same, right? If you do just this, then you have kind of slur, but the next one will become the same, especially if it's a third. Always keep that down and up. And the timing is the timing that it takes for your wrist. Don't fight this. Let it happen. Down, up, down, up, down. Even if it takes a little bit more time. Just do the right hand there. Yes, good. Yes, and then. So that one needs to be, the first one needs to be up. And now down. Yes. Yeah. And it will always sound heavy light, heavy light, heavy light, as it should be in slur, slur, slur situation. Quizzo now? Yeah. Exactly. Okay. Tada, tada. Yes, and go. Now you can relax. How you did it, and I think you have great fingers and very accurate touch, clear sound also. I think maybe because of practicing that we sometimes practice this so much that our world becomes sol fa mi so do ba di ba da ba la ba la ba. That's our world, right? Because we practice it so slow and then we get faster and faster and faster. This is obsessive now, but actually that's not so important. I think this is more important. That's more important. The transition from here to there, of course, has to be brilliant and clean and all of that, but that's not the music. The music is really this. When you think about it, it's kind of simple and beautiful, because it's really, that's just a chord, really. So there is a connection between A and B. The only connection is really from that, pam 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 bim, pam yup up up pam. It's not taka 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 taka. It's not the 16 notes. 16 notes can really confuse us and think that this is a totally different section. But actually the material is very similar, the thematic material. So play that, and of course brilliant right hand, but listen to dom, pa 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 pam, pam, ta 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 tam. Pam 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 pam. Ding ding ding. perfect situation, we will do this. But we're not in a perfect situation because we're in a masterclass and we have to stop between each movement and talk and all that. Again, I think in some way it's very, very good, and in some way it's missing some of the most important elements. Especially, I would say, this moment when you repeat and you come to this martellato feeling. Then the sound that you create there is, why are you smiling? Because you struggle with it also? Because you don't know what to, Then it's very difficult to do it well. In some ways I'm obsessed about the right hand, not about the left hand. And I think you're obsessed about this. So you get this, again, this taku feeling of left and right, this ping pong game. And I feel that the color of the melody is in the right hand. And the left hand is just giving this basso pizzicato, boom, 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 like an echo of something, right? So I'm obsessed about this. Right hand, and not about the left. So. See what I'm doing? And you're doing, it's very difficult because the left hand starts. So we want to listen to the left hand. Because it's the beginning, right? The right hand comes after that. But you have to really pay attention to the right hand. And not, you understand? Let's try that, just that little part. Super legato, please. Yeah, but soft. Play me the right hand only. Just this. That's it. So you don't want this, right? You want a little curve there. Now let's do this. No. No. I'll do this. You do that. Ready? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Just the first 3 notes, yeah? Let's do it really slow. Aha! One more time, just to hear it. Yeah, you see? It's kind of a reflection. This pizzicato comes and then comes the note. Do it slow, let's see if you can. Let's see. Da, dee, da, dee, da, da. Yes. And your enemy is your challenge is here, between the sections. So that I don't believe Beethoven wanted this to be really non-legato, really intermission or rest here. I think it's just comfortable writing. What he really wants is this. Smoothness between, and that also was the problem in how we played the first variation. Again, we have a variation, right? Because you play like this. I don't believe that's right. I believe that the slayer means that it's a matter of phrasing and registers of instruments. Because Beethoven is the great symphonizer. Yes, the symphony writer, even when he writes for piano. So you have double bass, double cello, double bass cello, cello, viola, and now what? Viola, violin, or maybe violin 1, violin 2. Violin 2, viola. So we're moving from instruments to another, it doesn't mean, I don't think that you should do short note every third note. Right? You're only doing it because you're playing piano and you have to jump from this to here. But that's not Beethoven's problem, that's your problem. Right? Beethoven is thinking about instruments, and every instrument plays 3 whole quarters. Do, mi, sol, not do, mi, sol, jump, do, mi, sol, jump, sol, mi, do, jump, sol, right? That's not what happened in an orchestra. If I'm a conductor, then I'm just saying ta di da ti da da ti da da ti da da pi da da ti da da ti da da. I'm just pointing. And they all play 3 long quarters, right? And in some way you can do it also. You have pedal and you have this flexibility of the hands that you don't have to jump like you did. Sensitivity here, and to really, I mean, so why there is a snare? Not to make it shorter, but to make the curve every 3 notes, and not da da down, not flat, right? Let's do it slow. But be careful not to do this, because that's, you're connecting 2 instruments together, right? This is one group, and this is another group. You hear it, really. Do first one, do, mi, do, mi. Yeah, and I would just take the pedal on the last. Not to create harmony. Very good. How do you say in Korean, baro? A little bit more smoothly, yeah? We can try? Bravo. Bravo. Yes, bravo to you. This is not easy to do. And you did it first shot. Really, very good. Here I would not go faster, I would play every note. You need to play. And don't be nice. Before ta da da ti da da ti da da, curve, ta 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 ta, no curving. Okay, just do that. Yum pa pa pi pa pa. Trill. Congratulations. It's you know, a little bit more shiny. Maybe you can engage the trill with a little bit of attack. Maybe with the first finger even. And then go 1, 3, 2. And gives it a little bit of spark. In Korean language we say pulkot. Pulkot. Pulkot? Pulkot. Pulkot.
Oh, yeah.
Firework? Fireworks, right? Like that. It immediately sparked into existence. Sorry. Mozartian kind of humor. Ha 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 ha. Little bit operetta. You know, something not so serious. Again, I feel there is some seriousness in you that I really like, by the way. That's very important. But maybe it's too serious, you know. And I like one thing about, again, Korean language. I want to say one more thing. There is something about this that is kind of kashimansok. But really, really kashimansok. Now, let's tell the audience what is kashimansok.
Like a thorn cushion.
Yes, like a thorned cushion. Like there is some kashi, like some needles in your cushion, which means your chair. So, but you are a comfortable girl. You're sitting, elegant lady. It's a little bit boring for me. I would feel like, oh, stop that. Yeah. Now laugh at it. And back to the underworld, to the darkness, right? There's a great contrast in this movement, don't you agree? Where the first movement is more homogenic. This one is much more contrasting. So let's hear that kashibansok, that needles in your chair. Why don't you start soft? Bum, bum, bum. More and more and more and more. And then, you want to try this? Let's try like the first and the third finger almost together. Yes. Much all I want to tell you about this movement, but there is a lot of work to do because the variety here is so grand. So now finish this and then go to adagio. This gorgeous moment always remind me another sonata. Do you know which one? You know.
Yeah, should
No, that's appassionata. We're talking about Pathétique, Sonata number 8. Yes, appassionata is in the future of this. And Sonata number 8 is the inspiration of this. Gorgeous key that has the same kind of romanza feel to it. You know the word romanza, a love song, right? And in addition to love song, of course, there is a great prayer here, some kind of a chorale praying. These kind of moods and atmospheres prevails in early Beethoven. You know, we will hear it a lot in early and middle Beethoven. And the key word that you have to maybe think about is length. How long do you hold everything? By your hands and by the tenuto in your sound. Because you have a tendency sometimes, you know, to play short. Take time. Okay. Let's do that. And again, it feels short. Short. I'm exaggerating. You didn't play so short, but it's not only that you play short, I think you're thinking short. So it's two things, the length of the phrase and the sostenuto of the sound, how you keep the sound long. Especially, I mean, in some cases I would definitely hold until the next note, like this. I hear it from C major goes to A flat. Not to disengage and then something new comes, right? So try just to hold, not even fortissimo, just try do with pedal, and then, yeah. So this was a very obvious thing, you know. And I want the opposite, I want the surprise. What do you hear now? I hear C major, right? I want your heart to be here in C major, and then when A flat comes, the heart goes here. Suddenly to the stomach it goes. Do. Keep it. Ah, very good. And the hands. Yes, for fullness. Again, Brahms comes to visit. Why did you disconnect that? Keep this. That's very good. Even this is a little bit short for me. Even this, what you did here, huge improvement, my dear. Good for you. But here, and you are kind of, again, very safe. Okay, that was good. New idea. It's new, of course, but it's still connected, right? So could you just... should be, because later you're right, that's the phrasing because of the slur, but here, first one, do you feel like, I feel actually this way, and now, yeah? So maybe do not start something new here. Now it's new. You hear the difference? Keep the me. Yes. Good to me. Generally, this was a good lesson right there, good moment, because if you keep it in your brain, but you don't physically keep it, it's half a job. If you physically keep it, but you don't keep it in your brain, it's half a job. Only if you physically keep it and keep it in your brain, then it's full job or complete. So just to do me and thinking about it, but keeping it with pedal and moving, that's not good enough. You're thinking good, now do good. And then it's full job. Let's try that. Yes, you can release, and now very good. And now release, red. I would do more crescendo. There. And si, la. Get crescendo, and now sforzando. Yeah. Technically, you're very right because he writes staccato in the left hand. Personally, I don't think this is literally means boom, boom, staccato. I think it just means very light. You know, if he really wanted to have an intermission, maybe he could write 16 notes rest, 16 notes rest. But he wrote 8 note, 8 note, 8 note, but staccato for lightness. So he literally, I think, wants the emphasis to be on the right hand. And not to play that, but with pedal and lightness in the left hand, and listen to the right. Very long. Oh, sorry, wrong sonata. I got confused. Yeah, you understand how these themas are. It's why I did that. Of course, it was a joke, but why? I want you to. First of all, you have to listen to this movement, right? I mean, you have to hear it to feel the connection. And the second thing is that this is Beethoven's language. Sometimes key signatures, like this A flat, are giving you the same nugim, the same mood, the same punigi, the same atmosphere. I'm sorry, I'm using so much Korean language, but that's important to know. So if you know that this is the mood in the pathetic second movement, then here you feel very natural at home. You know immediately what to do. Yeah? So listen to the pathetic second movement and other many good movements that he wrote in A flat. Okay? Let's do that, please, one time. Fa si. Listen to that. Long, crescendo. La, si, do. Now, sol, la, si, do. Yes, thank you, my dear. Thank you, Jungmin. Yeah, the challenge here, I think, is to listen to the right hand and actively create dynamics to the right hand. The curve of the dynamic is endless, gorgeous rainbow, but the left hand is just supporting. Do not participate in this. Yeah? And again, this is a very romantic idea. Why is this romantic? Because how are we playing the piano from Bach time to Mozart time? We have the banjo hand and the melody hand, but we know that when the melody is making crescendo, the banjo is accompaniment, has to support the melody. Not anymore. Sometimes this distance of going away, it gives you that kind of, again I'm going to use the word sorum dodayo. Tell the audience what it means.
What, you get goosebumps?
Goosebumps. From the melody rising to heaven, but the accompaniment is staying behind, on the ground. This kind of atmosphere is the beginning of romanticism, right? So welcome to the romantic moment of our sonata. Of course, it's still classical, but the thinking of this composer is already romantic. And with this romantic moment, I want to thank you for coming today to my studio at Seoul National University. And I want to thank you, and for the audience, for joining us in the masterclass. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.